Hey Waffle Gang, I do hope you're well. My name is Mark and today we're checking out some more relationship stories, and if you do love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting that like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too. Let's crack on with today's first story, which comes from the Am I Wrong subreddit from Primary Shine 5657 and says, my husband is upset with my behavior at a concert. My husband, 30 male and I, 26 female, went to a concert last weekend and we've argued about this a couple of times since, but aren't seeing each other's point of view. I love this band and I have a favourite member. I'm not attracted to this person, I just think he's super talented. Want to mention the whole band is in their 50s. I was front row and was really hoping to get a guitar pick as they will toss off a few into the crowd after the show. As the guy was leaving the stage, I shouted his name and made like a praying gesture towards him saying please. He came to the edge of the stage and tossed me the pick and I caught it. I was jumping up and down saying thank you and he nodded at me and left. That is 100% the extent of our interaction and my husband witnessed the whole thing. He didn't like it though, was super mad, accused me of bouncing my boobs on purpose for the guy. I do not have much to bounce, lol. It wasn't that, just a natural excited reaction. Saying the guy had been checking me out and I was attention seeking. He found my behavior super disrespectful and embarrassing. I didn't do anything at the show besides that, except sing and dance a bit like everyone else. It's a metal show and it's not like a really sexy environment, just headbanging or jumping around a little. I just had jeans and a top on, low cut, but like I said, I don't have any cleavage. Was I over the top? Is this like a known weird groupie-ish thing to do at shows, or is he overreacting? Edit for added details. No alcohol involved. Role reversal would not bother me. Husband is not typically jealous or insecure, but I'm pretty low-key and a shy person, so he doesn't get much occasion to be. Apart from concerts, I don't go out to bars or clubs, never without him, and I dress pretty modestly. If you really want to know the band, message because it's kinda obscure. I don't want to ID myself further. Absolutely, so not the arsehole to me in this situation. You were just excited to receive a guitar pick, jumped up and down, and he's just jealous and insecure about it. It's just as simple as that to me. And I mean, you know, concerts aren't a thing that I attend or get excited about at all. They're just not something that I would particularly enjoy, I don't think. But I can see why people would get excited about them, especially, you know, interacting with like the stars of the show, if you like, and they're throwing you a guitar pick. I can imagine you getting excited about that. And I think fair play to you, you know, if you're enjoying it, you're having a good time. What's wrong? It's not like you're going to jump on stage and run away with this guy, is it? You should see me when I go to watch football. I'm like, when I go to watch football live and, you know, I get overexcited. I'm jumping up and down and all sorts, shouting away. But Crabbiest Asp says, not the arsehole, we are also metalheads and my husband would be stoked for me if a band member gave me some memorabilia. It's like a gift from the gods. A deleted user replied to that and said, my husband and I were on the railing for Fall Out Boy this year and Pete Wentz winked at me and then threw me a guitar pick and my husband jumped up and down with me. Lol. Next comment from Who says he's overreacting. My wife has a favourite member in her favourite band. You know what I do? Flag him down and get his autograph on the set list for her. Find him on Cameo and have him send her messages on her birthday. You go be excited, jump for joy. As a member of a band myself, you're the kind of fan any band wants. Your husband, not so much. Good luck and have fun and rock out right up front where you belong. BM Lad says, I would be embarrassed if my partner overreacted to something so dumb. Just the worst guy says, I started reading this expecting to read that you went backstage or somewhere private with the guy, which would be pretty inappropriate as a married lady, but you asked for and were given a pick. I don't know how often you talk about this musician, but it sounds like your husband is just insecure and jealous. Maybe look into that. It is a silly reaction in his part, but there is likely something there to explore before things get worse. And one more comment which Opie replies to and says, not the arsehole, but I can't stand the fangirl/boy thing either, or anybody who obsesses over somebody else that doesn't care about them or knows they exist. I feel for your husband in that regard because it would definitely be embarrassing to have your spouse obsess in any type of way over somebody that isn't you. Whether you think you are right or not, your husband was most definitely turned off by it enough to freak out on you for it. So I'd maybe take his feelings into consideration instead of asking Reddit, because all the people telling you he's an arsehole and you are right aren't going to fix anything. Which OP says, I can understand that, but in your opinion, having fun at the show and asking for memorabilia and being excited about it is an obsession? I can understand if there were other behaviors. I'd be interested to hear what you think. Front row might seem kind of intense, but it costs the same. Low price as any ticket. Did wait in line for a couple of hours, but not too crazy when you were short, lol. I wear some merch and own their music, that's about it. So OP does come in with that update and says, thank you for the response on my last post. I got some genuinely helpful advice and wanted to update. First, I know that post was validation seeking, but I just needed to know if I was crazy or not for thinking my behavior wasn't out of line. A lot of people brought up points I hadn't thought of regarding why my husband may have reacted the way he did. And I had some conversations that made me think more about other jealous and insecure behaviors my husband displays that I've been accommodating without really thinking about it. So I decided to have a talk with him. I did not apologize for anything but validated his feelings about it, reassured him of my lack of any physical or romantic interest in that person and my absolute love and devotion to him. He ended up apologizing for making accusations about my intentions. We had further discussion about some behaviors around his jealousy and insecurity and the root of those feelings, which I will not get into except to say that he took responsibility for them and intends to work on it. We ended up in a really good place and I feel great about things. I know this won't make everyone happy when the range of responses I got was everything from divorce your abuser immediately to stop being a fatherless hoe, but it is what it is. May seem dramatic for a small issue, but as I said, underlying issues. Thanks again. So a couple of comments asked OP questions below the update. The first one said, the fact an adult came to Reddit for advice before just speaking to their partner is baffling. And OP says, I know it's stupid, but we did talk and it didn't go anywhere. We could not see each other's point of view and he was not able to express why he felt the way he did. Asking gave me perspectives I didn't have before and it was helpful. I understand what you mean though. Next commenter says, so did you compromise about anything or did you manage to get out of this without taking any personal flack at all? The word I'm specifically looking for is compromise, as in your husband said he would take it easy and work on his insecurity, right? What have you done to better your relationship with him? Obi says, I want to do more to show him that he is loved and appreciated and that he and our life together excites me and I let him know that. I should have included that. The person replies that and says, thank you for the reply and clarification. You're right that you should have included it because we readers can only go on the words you give us. If you don't include the words, it doesn't exist for us. I'm glad you and your partner are on a better path. Just food for thought though. This sort of thing, if my husband isn't okay with that, that's up to him to decide what to do. That's not healthy language. That's dangerous and shows some subconscious issues of your own that you should address before they become a problem. You need to remember that your husband is your lifeline and he's just as responsible for your comfort as you are his. If you treat him like that, telling him it's up to him to decide, chances are he will decide. OP responds and says, I understand what you're saying with the language, but at some point there's a line, right? I'm not willing to police the way I naturally express joy at a concert when I don't feel my behavior is inappropriate in any way. I'm willing to do my part in addressing the underlying issues of why it makes him feel uncomfortable. I'm not saying I think it will come to that, but at some point, if that's not acceptable for him, he would have to evaluate if I'm the right partner for him. But yeah, that's not where we're at all. We're in a good place. And our next story is one that does have new updates at the end. So if you have found that you've heard this story elsewhere and you want to skip parts of the story, timestamps are always down in the description and along the timeline below. This is from the Am I Wrong subreddit and it's titled, Am I Wrong for Accidentally Getting My Parents Uninvited from My Brother's Wedding? Back when my 25 male, ex Maria, 24 female, and I were dating, we set my brother Arthur, 24 male, up with his ex Jen, 24 female, who was Maria's, I guess now, ex best friend. Maria and I dated for about a year, and Arthur and Jen dated for about 9 months. We'd constantly do things together since Maria and Jen were best friends. Out of our little group, my personality matched Jen's the most, which led to us getting close. I felt so comfortable around Jen and we both had a moment of weakness. We were at a party and we did the deed. We snuck around for about a week before Arthur and Maria found out. Jen and I decided we'd be better together, so we broke off our relationship and started dating each other. Jen and I dated for about 6 months and it was amazing until I found out she was cheating on me and she left me for the other guy. I was heartbroken. I thought I found my match. I kept thinking about how good Maria was to me. In hindsight, she treated me way better than Jen ever did. I went to message her to beg her to take me back, but decided to look at her Instagram pictures first, and that's when I found out that her and Arthur had started dating in the 6 months Jen and I were together. They've been together for 4 years, and I found out from my parents that they're getting married in September. It hurt so much finding that out. What hurt even more was the fact that I didn't even receive an invite. I mean, I know things have happened between us, but Arthur and I are brothers. We're family. When I told my parents I hadn't received an invite, they phoned Arthur and tried to get him to invite me, but all that ended up doing is getting them uninvited. I tried calling Arthur to get them re-invited and to get myself invited, but he didn't answer any of my calls. My parents haven't said anything. I feel like they're mad at me for getting them uninvited from Arthur's wedding. Am I wrong for accidentally getting my parents uninvited from my brother's wedding? If I got this right, and there's every chance I got it wrong here, he betrayed the two people that's getting married, and now he's upset that he's not being invited to their wedding. What the hell? But someone breaks it down a bit in the comments. They said Arthur's perspective. His own brother betrayed him in one of the worst ways possible. He had his heart broken by his cheating ex. His now fiance had a heart broken by the same person. They finally moved on and found happiness the right way. Parents then betray Arthur by daring to defend or vouch for OP, thus meaning they don't think it's as a big deal as Arthur does, which minimalizes his pain and is utterly disrespectful and unsympathetic, while also meaning that's how they truly felt the whole time. Arthur can't trust a single one of his immediate blood relatives and rightfully wants all of them unable to affect his peace, his soon-to-be wife and their big day. Fuck cheaters. Fuck the "but we're family" abusers. Fuck the "I know I was wrong but they're overreacting," and fuck anyone that sympathizes with those people. OK Lime says you're acting like a child for getting your mummy and daddy involved with something they had no business getting into. And who does that to your own brother? There is no person worth family, and I see you cry family now. We are brothers. Where did that little tidbit play in when you were screwing his girlfriend? You have no business dating anyone until you do some soul searching. As for your parents, you screwed them out of something they look forward to all their lives. Nice job. Unusual Focus says, oh boo-hoo, I cheated on my ex and now she hooked up with my brother. We're family. He's supposed to treat me like family. Never mind that I couldn't do the same. Jesus, this guy sounds like a narcissist. I know that term gets thrown around a lot, but I've studied a lot about them, and that at least sounds like a narcissist trait. Boo-hoo, everybody's supposed to think about me and only me. Fuck what anybody else wants. I'm the only person who matters. What the fuck is this guy on? It is, I forgot to add that my most recent ex and the guy before him were both narcissists. That's how I was able to pick this out. That's how they acted. Like they could just do whatever they wanted, but if somebody put themselves first, they were in the wrong. And one more comment from Imaginary Standard who says the parents thought it was a good idea to ask Arthur to invite his brother, who cheated on Maria and screwed Arthur's girlfriend behind their backs, for the wedding. Even if OP had begged and pestered them about it, they should have told him no. They know what happened. The fact that OP found out about Arthur and Maria when he was going to message her to take him back is just... I have no words for this. It made me laugh. Karma. For him to want an invite is just idiotic. He probably also pats himself on the back for getting them together. This isn't everyone sucks here except for Arthur and Maria. I hope I got their names right. But in the comments below this one, someone says the brother gave their point of view, and it was over on the entitled People subreddit. It was titled, "My brother slept with and ran off with my ex and now wants an invite to my wedding, getting my parents uninvited in the process." For the record, I tried posting this 3 days ago, but my account was too new. I24 Male wasn't even going to make a post about this, but my brother, who I'll call Turk 25 Male, made 4 posts about it, so I thought I should share my side of the story. I use the same names he did for the sake of simplicity. My fiance is Maria 24 Male, and my ex is Jen 24 Female. A little over 5 years ago, my brother started dating Maria, my now fiance. 3 months after they started dating, they set me up with her, now ex, best friend, Jen. The 4 of us did a lot together since the girls were best friends. Turk and Maria dated for a year, and Jen and I dated for 9 months. At the end of our relationship, I came home early and found Turk and Jen having sex in my bed. After I processed the situation, I called Maria because I'd want to know if I was in her place. She came over and we confronted Turk and Jen. They dumped us and I found out 2 days later, started dating each other. It broke me. I came home to find my brother fucking my girlfriend only to run off with her. I had to move back in with my parents. It was infuriating because they kept talking about how happy Turk and Jen were. Throughout the next couple of months, Maria and I started talking. We were two people in similar shitty situations and we found some comfort in each other. 4 months after we got dumped, Maria and I officially started dating. 6 months after we got dumped, Turk found out Jen was cheating on him and she left him for the other guy. I actually only found this out today from reading Turk's post. Maria would get the occasional message from Turk trying to reconnect, but she ignored him. Anyway, moving on to now, Maria and I are engaged and getting married in September. My parents were invited until my mum called me and threatened to not come if I didn't invite Turk. I told her not to bother coming regardless. In my mother's eyes, Turk can do no wrong. When he fucked and started dating my ex, I told my parents everything he did, and my mum tried defending him. Our relationship isn't the greatest, but it was somewhat decent. After I uninvited my parents, I only uninvited my mum, but my dad texted me and said he's not coming if my mum isn't. Turk blew up my phone trying to get a hold of me. This is the first time he's even tried reaching out to me in 4 years. Like I said before, Turk posted about the situation here on Reddit as well, and apparently my parents told him that Maria and I were getting married, and that started this whole thing of getting them uninvited. He stopped calling me, but he's blowing up my phone with texts begging me to re-invite my parents and possibly give him an invite. So yeah, I just wanted to get my side out there. And we do have like the final update in a moment, which comes from Arthur's side again, the one that we just heard from. And I know people are always super skeptical when we hear like both sides of the story, especially with the wild kind of logic we got going on in this post that, you know, a brother cheating and betraying his brother and then wanting to get re-invited to the wedding because of the old excuse, but family. And the parents backing him up on this because he's like the golden child of the family or something along those lines. It's just a betrayal from the whole family, isn't it? And there's no way you're going to move past that. It's just one of those situations that's just be done with it, cut them off, which I know is always easier said than done, but I can't see any other way through this. But a couple of comments from that one. Someone says, your mum downplaying what he did to you is kind of telling whose side she's on. I've come across that piece. It seems in Turk's eyes, he didn't do anything wrong either, and trying to get hold of Maria is also trying to steal her from you. You're better off without all of them from your life, moving forward. Good luck with your upcoming wedding. Turk's a dick. You should give them the invites but to a different location, like a graveyard since he can't stop digging up the past with Maria. Just make sure no one gives him the real address. One more comment that says, your entire family is toxic as fuck. How dare they take Turk's side? At this point, OP, cut your losses. You said your parents think Turk can do no wrong. That'll never change. They constantly disregard your feelings, which isn't okay. You were broken from witnessing Turk and Jen having sex in your fucking bed. How could your parents think that's okay? What did they expect when you didn't invite your brother to one of the most precious times of your life? I'm proud for you for standing up for yourself and Maria. That takes a lot of self-respect and strength. I'm thrilled for you to have found someone who completes you. Let go. You deserve happiness. As I said though, get out of there. More guilt trips and toxic behavior from your family will ensue otherwise. You deserve better. To which OP responds saying, thank you so much. I think this is the beginning of the end of my relationship with my parents. My parents and I have a pretty rocky relationship since my brother can do no wrong in their eyes. Yet I do almost all wrong in their eyes. They threatened not to come if I didn't invite my brother, and I said, don't bother coming at all. We get another update which happened after the wedding, and OP starts off saying, here's a summary since my original post is pretty long. My brother Turk set me up with my ex. I walked in on him and my ex having sex in my bed, and it broke me. My wife, Maria, was also cheated on, so we understood each other. Maria and I dated for 4 years until we got married a couple of weeks ago. 2 months before my wedding, Turk talked to my parents and got my mum to try and get him invited, but all that did was get my mum uninvited. My dad didn't come because my mum didn't. That's basically it. My wedding was amazing. It went so smoothly. I didn't hear from Turk. He didn't even show up as far as I know. My parents didn't show up and tried to make a scene or anything, which was good. My mum didn't text me, but my dad texted me saying congratulations. I guess Turk talked to my mum because she texted me shortly after my honeymoon, basically begging me to forgive Turk because he's my brother. I didn't text back. It's not worth it. That was a week ago, and I haven't gotten any other text from my mum or Turk since. And that's it. The funny part is that Turk is still trying to get our mum to solve his problems, but all of that's behind me now. And obviously we don't know the full ins and outs of those text messages, but in that last one there where it says the mum was basically begging OP to forgive Turk, I mean, she should be apologizing herself for taking his side, and it doesn't sound like any of that happened. It doesn't even sound like she knows she's in shit herself. She didn't even turn up to the wedding, wasn't invited to the wedding. I mean, come on, and you're trying to get forgiveness for him. But all in all, I think that age-old quote about the best revenge is a life well lived, and I think that's the way forward here. But now I'm going to turn this one to you guys. What do you guys make of this situation? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And just a huge thank you from the bottom of my heart for getting involved in today's stories. Your love, your support, your time always means the absolute world to me, so thank you so much. And don't forget, there'll be a couple of playlists at the very end of the video that you can click on. It will automatically scroll through all the videos for you, so whatever you're up to. And don't forget to let me know over on Twitter @MarkNarration. Send me a pic of what you're up to. Love to see it. It will keep scrolling through those stories for you, and there is thousands of them. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next one. Take care and much love.